Hello and welcome to another one-on-one in our Skypod series. We have a guest today and he is Khalid Shah. He is an alumni of Skyline, but I am not going to do justice introducing him, so I'm going to pass it on to him.
Hello everyone, this is Khalid Shah here, UAE national cricketer, Skyline alumni. I'm born and brought up in Sharjah. My education and everything was done in Sharjah, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khalid, for taking time out to come over here. So without further ado, we just go back to the time when you first started playing cricket. So what is your first memory of playing cricket?
Well, of playing cricket, see, I've played so much cricket in my little time that I don't exactly remember the first time, but I remember the first time when I saw cricket. That was 2003 World Cup, India playing against Pakistan. I was sitting with my father here in one of the restaurants in Sharjah. I don't understand anything, but the craze which was going around and the atmosphere which was there, I mean, India playing against Pakistan, I'm sitting in a restaurant. The restaurants were filled with Indian and Pakistanis and they were celebrating. I don't know which team is Pakistan, which team is India. But that thing was something made me connected to cricket. I was like, oh, this is the sports I want to play, I want to be in. And alhamdulillah, I was glad. I'm glad enough that I'm part of this sport.
So did you start taking coaching at an early age, or did you just start playing on your streets or with the children in the neighborhood? How did it start?
It all started with my brother, my elder brother, basically. So he used to play cricket as well. We used to go there in Sharjah and play street cricket here and there with our friends and relatives. So most of the times when I used to go with him, I don't used to get batting or bowling. It's just the fielding, and especially fielding just behind the wicket keeper. That's where, the ball goes very far and it saves time. So I have to field there so I can give them back the ball fast. So that was how I started. But yes, with the time, I started going to academy as well, Sharjah Cricket Academy here in Sharjah Cricket Stadium. And with that also, I got that experience, that exposure, how to play hardball cricket. Because I used to play tennis ball cricket. Tennis ball cricket is completely different game of hardball cricket. So yeah, in initial days, it was Sharjah Cricket Academy where I started my cricketing journey.
Did you think that you would ever reach this point where you would take international tours with a cricket team, or would even pursue cricket seriously?
Well, to be very honest, at the early stage, I never thought of it. I feel it's not only me. Maybe today the youngsters, they might think of it, but at my time it was like it's still the tennis ball cricket only, because there was no one from my family that played such high level of cricket. So I never thought. I thought watching these guys on TV, watching Sachin Tendulkar or Shahid Afridi on TV, it's a big thing for us. I cannot never reach at that point. But again, when I was making my debut last year against Nepal, the best part was when there were 40,000 people in the ground watching that game. And when I was facing my first delivery, unfortunately, I was facing the first ball of that match, and it was a T20 World Cup qualifier. So can you imagine Nepal playing UAE? It's like India playing Pakistan. That too in Gujarat or Mumbai, where there is 100% Indians and you don't see any Pakistanis there in the ground. That was similar position. I was in the similar position. Playing in Nepal, 40,000 Nepalis. Once the bowler started running and things were not in my mind. I didn't know what's happening at that point. Everyone was shouting, cheering. So, from a boy playing street cricket to a T20 World Cup qualifier as a debut. So the journey took a lot of things. But yeah, I'm happy. Alhamdulillah, I've done it.
But did you feel, as it was your debut, did you feel that there was a lot of pressure on you to do well or to prove a point for that matter?
Well, see, when you play national cricket, you have already proven yourself back home, right? In the domestic circuit. I've done well in domestic all these years. I've done well in the side matches. It was not that I've just got a call to the national team. I've done well there. But obviously the environment which the UAE national team gives you, the coaching staff gives you, the confidence which they give you. So pressure goes a bit less, but obviously playing at that stage, if I was playing against someone else, the pressure might have been a bit lesser. But it was Nepal, 40,000 people. That was the thing which I never experienced here in UAE, playing for UAE. So apart from that, everything was good. I was ready for that mentally and physically as well.
Considering the fact that UAE is less spoken about when it comes to cricket, what would you call the cricket atmosphere over here in the UAE?
It's amazing. It's amazing because the cricket atmosphere in UAE, the facilities which we have UAE, I'll be happy. I'll happily tell you here. Sharjah Cricket Stadium is the Guinness World Record holder. I don't know many people will know this or don't know. They have hosted the maximum number of international matches in the world, where you have Lords, we have Sydney, we have MCG, we have Mumbai, but it's Sharjah Cricket Stadium which has hosted the maximum number of matches. Then again, the facilities which we have here in Sharjah, Dubai or Abu Dhabi as well, it's world class. I was in Zimbabwe playing a league, and at that time the World Cup winner, N. Morgan, England captain, he asked me one thing. He said, Khalid, UAE has the brilliant facilities. What do you think about it? I asked him, you have seen the world. You tell me, what do you think about it? And he's like, you guys have the best ones. There you go. If you a legend like you is telling me you have the best, obviously we have the best facilities in the world.
Yeah, but when it comes to cricket, right, here most people prefer playing football, I'm guessing, over cricket. But do you see a lot of new UAE locals over here playing cricket now?
Well, to be very honest, frankly speaking, the young generation, I see some of them getting into cricket now. Even previously, we had some international players from UAE who has represented UAE in the World Cups. 2015, there was a local. 1996 World Cup, there was a local as well. Plus, the cricket is being run by locals here. It was run by Mr. Abdurrahman Bukhadir, the founder of cricket in this region or in the Gulf region. So, locals are into cricket. But yeah, as you said, not like football, but they are into cricket and they like it.
In school, you studied over here in the UAE. In school, did you get a lot of opportunities to play cricket or pursue cricket in a manner that is possible in India or Pakistan? Because in Indian and Pakistani schools, I know that cricket is given a lot of importance. But was it the case over here?
Well, to be very honest, obviously, cricket. When it comes to cricket and when it comes to Indians and Pakistani, when it comes to Asian, they are into cricket. All right, whether that's the professors or the kids or the PT teachers. Yes, in our school as well, we used to have cricket pitch. I was fortunate enough that at Serena School, they have a huge ground here in Sharjah. So keeping these things in mind, we used to play cricket during our sports session, during our recess. And the memories more than cricket which you make with your friends at that particular time is something to cherish for the rest of your life. So yeah, schools plays an important role, and yes, Asian schools in UAE, they have cricket. They play cricket in their schools.
Okay, from school to college. Okay, when you were getting enrolled over here in Skyline, tell me honestly, was it the cricket pitch that attracted you to Skyline?
It's a very good question. I have to tell you this. So when our academy, Sharjah Academy, we used to from Sharjah Academy, we used to go to a ground in there, and to take some players, we used to come to Skyline University in the bus to take some players from here, because maybe the location was so nice and things were so accurate. So they used to come here, and from here we used to go to Zaid. So at that time, I'm talking about somewhere around 2013 or 14, if I'm not wrong, or maybe 12. I'm not sure at that time. So I used to come here and I used to see all these boys playing there. White kit, red ball. And I still remember there used to be English touring team as well. I was in school that time, but I was like, oh my God, I love this place. I didn't know about the university much, but it's a cricket scene. So as I got graduated from my school, coming to Skyline now, before that I visited to Skyline with my school as well. I saw the campus, I saw the facility. I loved it, to be very honest. I came here, I met the marketing team. Mr. Rakesh, I'm glad that I went to him first thing. So things became pretty easy for me at that particular time, and I decided that this is Skyline and I have to go there. I was lucky enough that I got scholarship at that time. I was at 50% scholarship, which was a huge thing for me, because I always think of one thing, that if I'm doing something, I have to pay for that thing myself. Obviously, my parents are there. They have supported me throughout my life. Even now, they're supporting us. But I was glad enough that I could afford that, all thanks to the Skyline. Yep.
So when you were studying over here, how did you balance studying and also training yourself in terms of training for cricket, or even your personal health and all that? How did you balance your studies and both playing cricket?
See, when it comes to playing cricket, I used to come in the morning sessions, all right? So the good thing about this place was I used to have the facilities were open for us 24/7. It was almost like 24/7. We have the gym facility here. We have the grounds as well. So once we used to finish our series, which finishes at 1:30 or 2 o'clock. After that, we have sessions of cricket practice. We used to have coaches here. Mr. Sanjay used to arrange everything for us at that time. So things were easy for us. We could easily manage things. But yes, when we used to have matches during our study hours, we make sure that we go to the faculty, we request them, and they are good enough that they accept our request. And, if we have any test or something, they used to delay it for us for next day or next session, no problem. So that was the support which we got at that time. And again, I was lucky enough to get that support, because whereas I know many people, they don't get such supports.
But when you started studying, right, did you think that you would still pursue, like I'm sure you pursued cricket in school actively, but did you expect that in college and after college?
Well, because I was on my scholarship, so I knew one thing for the fact that I have to play cricket with my education. But playing for the national team, I never thought of it, because obviously it's a dream. If it's a dream, doesn't matter you represent Pakistan, India, or any other country. Any country you represent, it's an achievement. So at that particular time, obviously with university, playing cricket was a dream. With national team, to represent a national team was a dream. But glad enough that I was able to do both the things pretty much right.
So when did you get selected for the national team, and how? And who took you there? The whole journey.
Well. As I told you, the start of my cricket, I started from academy, Sharjah Cricket Academy. From that, school cricket. Obviously, my father used to take me to academy and bring me back. That was, these small things when you start the cricket with your parents, then you start with your brother, siblings, then your parents take you there. Then the academy comes in. Then the school comes in. Then the university cricket comes in. These are the phases. Then comes the real story. Then you become a A-division player. You play a top-level cricket if you're good enough. There are a lot of teams which will take you. So I started my journey with Bukhatir 11 as well. We used to play Bukhatir 11. It was run by Mr. Khalid Bukhatir. And so that was one of the things which changed a lot of things in my life. It gave me that push and that kick where I realized that, yes, I can play cricket and I can represent UAE on the higher level, or I can play league cricket as well. We used to play a lot of cricket in Sharjah Stadium, Dubai or Abu Dhabi, all around UAE Ajman. So kept on performing here and there. All of a sudden got a call one day for the camp match. That was last year, just before the World Cup qualifiers. Got a call for a camp match. Went there, the other team scored 20 overs, 203. We chased that in 18, 19 overs. I scored a 40 balls, 90. That's where I knew that I'll be there now. So 40 balls, 90, I think changed the thing. And the next thing was a flight to Nepal playing T20 World Cup qualifiers.
So in this journey, what would you call as the most challenging phase? Or what were those challenges you had to face?
See, when you play in a country like UAE, where you have a lot of expats as well, and a lot of talented cricketer, patience is very important. So if you don't have patience, you cannot. Anywhere in cricket, let's be very honest. Something which was really testing for me was my patience. I always wanted to do things fast, but alhamdulillah, I was glad enough to take it slow, but into a right direction. And when the time was right, I did it. I represented the country.
Okay, so getting into playing, are there any superstitious things or rituals that you do just before a match?
Well, just before a match, it might sound not good, but I always eat before the match.
Yeah.
Because I cannot.
Aren't you not supposed to eat?
Yeah, I mean, we can eat, but we cannot eat heavy, right? Before the game, it will affect things. So I think I'm the other way around. I love eating. So I'll eat and go and play match. I'll be a completely different player at that point. And apart from that, going into the batting, I always wear my left pad first. That gives me that, maybe not superstitious, but that gives me an extra comfort level into going into bat.
Talking about your left pad, you are a left-handed batsman. Did you choose it? Are you generally left-handed? Or how did that happen?
It's all natural. I mean, it's from the Almighty. I have no idea about it, but I'm a left-handed batsman. And if you ask any right-handed batsman, he'll say, I wish if I was a left-handed batsman. And if you ask a left-handed batsman, it's I wish if I was a right-handed batsman. So I wish if I was right as well. But no, I'm happy with left.
But why though? Do you feel that right-handed batsmen have an advantage over left-handed batsmen?
No, this is world's phenomenon. I mean, if you don't have something, you say, "I wish if I was that."
The grass is greener on the other side.
Exactly. Nothing serious. But it feels like I wish if I had this. It's simple as that.
Okay. So do you have any, or generally, what are some of the misconceptions that people have about left-handed batsmen?
Well, when it comes to gears, for example, if you have a right-handed batsman and he wants your stuff to use, he cannot use your gloves. He cannot use your pads most of the times because, it's a right-handed batsman. It's a left-handed batsman. So apart from that, nothing else. Left-handed batsmen are batsmen. We have a lot of legends around the world. Right-handed batsmen are the best batsmen. Sachin Tendulkar is one of them.
Yeah.
So it all same. Both. It's just that left and right. Nothing else.
So when you go to a shop to buy your gears, you specifically say that you're a left-handed batsman?
Yes. We have to say that. But mainly it uses in the glove only. In the glove, we used to have left-hand batsman and pads sometimes. Apart from that, lefty, righty, both of them are same. We use the same bat, same helmet, everything same.
Who do you look up to in terms of a left-handed batsman?
Oh, good question. Many of them, but Adam Gilchrist, I like Gilchrist. I like Chris Gale. But if you ask me from cricket, it's always Shahid Afridi. From since my childhood, it was always Shahid Afridi. And still today, if I see him, I saw him many times, but if I see him today also, I'll be a bit shivering. I said, but that's Shahid Afridi or Shoaib Akhtar as well. We were fans, man. We were crazy fans.
Is there a song or a meditation technique or something that you do just to, get your stress under control just before a match?
Yeah. I still remember going into batting. I recite the last four surahs of Quran, getting into the pitch, batting or fielding. That relieves some kind of pressure from me as well. Yeah.
Anything else that you do just before the match so that you gain some sort of confidence to get on the turf?
Yeah. Obviously, before the match, I have to get into the ground, training, have to warm up, make sure my body is ready for that. If you don't warm up and if you go, that's the area where you get your injuries and stuff like that. So I try to avoid these things and get into the ground when I feel I'm physically fit.
So, talking about physical condition, they also say that mental conditioning is as important as your physical conditioning. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, that's absolutely right. Because even if you're physically fit, I know a lot of players are physically fit, but mentally they are not ready to do a lot of things. So, I personally feel if you're not ready mentally, take a break. Whether that's cricket, education, or anything, you have to be mentally prepared for things. That's how you start. That's how you succeed in your life.
Do you do anything extra for that mental conditioning?
Nothing, to be very honest. Whenever I feel like I'm not well, so I try to avoid the game. Not international, but the domestic, I don't play the games. One thing which gives me, after last couple of years, which makes me happy and I feel like I'm blessed is seeing my kid, my son. So it doesn't matter what mood I'm in, doesn't matter what condition I'm in, but when I see him, it's a complete different story and I feel like I'm the happiest and the luckiest man in the world.
Some of the big players, they tend to go to a life coach for this sort of conditioning, for them to feel better just before a match, especially when they've taken long breaks between matches. Do you think that is important or required for that matter?
See, I feel every person has a different mental health and they take things differently. So, for example, if they do such things, I believe it's important for them because that is when they'll feel satisfied and they'll feel ready for the future. Whereas me, it's like talking to my wife or my family, some take positives out of things that makes me happy and that makes me get ready for the things, yes.
So, you don't always win on a field, but when you lose, how do you cope with it?
See, people say winning and losing is part of the game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I don't say this. I say sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So even if you lose, there is something to learn out of it. So yeah, how do you cope with that? Depends on the games, to be very honest. Every game, we have to take serious. But obviously, I still remember playing the World Cup qualifiers in Nepal recently, last year only. We were playing semi-final against Nepal. And if we win that match, we are traveling to US for the World Cup, T20 World Cup. Okay? Unfortunately, we lost that game. Semi-final against Nepal. And in the dressing room, I could see in the squad of 15 with the coaching staff, more than half they were crying. We all were crying. That was the atmosphere at that time. because we were emotionally attached with that. We were the best team. We had some of the biggest name and the best players in UAE cricket or in the associate nations at that time. So we felt that was the saddest moment, So that was something which actually made us emotional, all of us. So we couldn't cope with that. That is what it is.
Okay. So on the field, especially when you're playing in front of a large crowd, you're sometimes asked to keep your emotions under guard. For example, keep your aggression under guard. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, when at such particular time, because here in UAE we don't see huge crowd mostly until unless India or Pakistan is playing or Afghanistan is playing for that sake. We are not mentally prepared for that particular crowd. But what I saw in Nepal, the crowd was 14,000. I was glad enough, I was lucky enough that my seniors or the coaching staff, they gave me that confidence that Khalid, mentally be prepared that these things will happen to you. Because you're playing, this is your first game on this level, these things will happen. So, in such situations, do this A, B, C. Just focus on the ball, focus on the bowler, just forget about the world. Yusuf Pathan from India is a good friend of mine. He gave me a very good advice. See the ball, not the bowler. So I kept that thing in my mind, and it's always searching for the ball instead of the bowler or the crowd. So, yeah, this is the things which I do actually.
Do you see your son follow your path?
Well, he's 2 now. Since he was 1, I see him. He's in my bats and stuff. So I gave him a plastic bat in home. So he used to, Papa, bowl. I used to bowl him. And he bats left-hander as well. Now that is something I didn't tell him to do, right? But that's natural. So, as we discussed, it becomes natural. So my son, I feel he is also into this path as well. Whereas I not force him or I not tell him what to do. That is his life and he has to decide when the time is right.
But would you be disappointed if he chose football over cricket?
Not at all. Not at all. Because he's going to live his life. I have to support him whether he goes for cricket or football. It is just that if he goes to cricket, I can support him in my way. I can support him I can teach him how to do things. But when he goes to football, then I have to give him the right platform. I don't know much about football, but this is the coach and this is the field. This is how you do it.
Okay. So if you were given a chance, hypothetically, to play with somebody from the, past, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Well, if it was in the past, I would love to play with Sachin Tendulkar because that has achieved a lot for his country, okay? For the world of cricket, actually, what he has done. He's a brilliant batsman. Today also, when we sit with a lot of legends or we talk with them, we say, Sachin Tendulkar, yeah, Sachin has done a lot. That desert storm in Sharjah or the innings which he has played in the first 200 he has scored, that is not an easy task, or scoring 15 or 18,000 runs in international cricket is not an easy task. So it will be Sachin Tendulkar and the next name would be Shoaib Akhtar. Love to see him running from 30 yard and, with all this hair and, that body with this blue shirt. Yeah, you asked me, he was a dawn of cricket, and the way he runs and the way he used to bowl, amazing. So, Sachin and Shoaib Akhtar.
What does the future hold for you? What do you see? What is upcoming? What is news now?
Well, we have a lot of cricket coming up. UAE has a lot of domestic cricket. We have a lot of leagues coming up here as well. Leagues around the world, that depends whether you're picked or not picked. Even leagues in UAE depend the same. But international cricket is there. Domestic good cricket is there. And it has to be family, work. That's life. That's how we live. That's how we should live as well. But don't forget to enjoy your life as well.
If you could give one advice to an up-and-coming cricketer, what would it be?
Train hard. Make sure you discuss everything with your parents regarding your cricket because they are the pillar. They are the one who gives you that platform. And they'll be one supporting you throughout your life. So train hard, trust your coaches, and never say no to any advice anyone gives you because these advices, small things might change your life.
Talking about parents, you just mentioned parents. Were your parents always for cricket?
Always. From the beginning, they supported me a lot. I remember my father used to work in morning. Then, he has to take me to the coaching center as well, academy as well. I used to be a bit scared to wake him up at 4 p.m. because he was sleeping, taking a nap. But still, my mom used to support me. I said, go wake him up. Well, she used to go and wake him up. You have to go to cricket. You have to please drop me. So I can never forget this. I used to practice in Sharjah. No? So my mother used to come and she used to sit all 2 hours watching me play. Can you imagine, before playing for UAE, my parents when they are in town, when they are in Sharjah, they come for every single match to the city and they'll watch me, they'll see me play. That is something else. I still remember I scored 100 in 2018 or 19 Bukhatir League 50. I scored 100. That was in news as a national newspaper. So I signaled to my mom and dad. They were sitting and watching that game. So Paul, one of my friends from the national news, he was asking, "Oh, signal, my parents, they come every game." I said, "They come every game. They don't miss a match. Doesn't matter a 20-over match or a 50-over match." And from domestic, now I'm looking at the international. When I was playing against a wild star recently in Sharjah, my home ground as well, and my parents and my friends were sitting at that place and they were supporting me exactly the same the way. There were around 8 to 10,000 people in the ground, but my eyes were on those 5, 6, 7, 8 people who were there to support me, where they support me in my domestic, whether that's my friends or my family.
Okay, my last question for this conversation would be in the sense that you have a lot going on and a lot coming up, but if you were asked to look back, what are your top 3 moments?
Top 3 moments regarding cricket, sports, or you mean overall?
Just in the cricket journey, what are your top 3 moments?
Well, number one would be when I played in Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Not for the first time, but one of the tournaments in Ramadan. Okay, that was big for me because I was playing against all these, at that time, all those stars. So that was number one. Number 2 was obviously when I got into league cricket. One of the leagues in Abu Dhabi T10. I got into that. That was my first franchise cricket. And number 3 was obviously when I represented UAE at that level. So it's always a happy moment for me.
Great. As we are approaching the end of this series, we'd end up with a rapid fire, a quick and easy one. So you have like 3 seconds to think about the answer.
Okay.
All right. Night match or day match?
Night match.
Grass pitch or turf pitch?
Turf pitch.
Cover drive or pull shot?
Cover drive.
Early morning run or late night gym?
Late night gym.
Sweeping shot or reverse sweep?
Reverse sweep.
Coffee or karak tea? Desert safari or beach day?
Beach day.
Do you prefer playing in the rain or on a sunny day?
In rain we cannot play cricket, so it's a sunny day.
Team hurdle or individual preparation?
Team hurdle, because team win your games.
Batting in the power play or in the death overs?
Power play.
Babar Azam or Virat Kohli?
There's no comparison. That's Virat Kohli. That guy's a legend, man. There's no comparison. Babar is good, but Virat is Virat.
Okay. Thank you, Khalid, for this time and this session. We really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm hoping that the viewers also do. If you have any questions, please do comment on our video or send us a DM on our Instagram page. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Khalid. See you next time.